asleep. Was it? Yeah, it was.
And then Angie, if you
Call to order the regular meeting of the Arts, Culture, and Historic Preservation Commission. It is 6 o'clock. Pledge of Allegiance will be Commissioner Volker.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Daniel?
Chairperson Seals,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kloss, Commissioner Hawkinson,
here.
Commissioner Hayes,
Present.
Commissioner Altamirano,
Present.
Commissioner Clower, Commissioner Volkar,
Present.
and Commissioner Brandeman. Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 1A, presentations by the public on matters not on the agenda within the jurisdiction of the commission. I don't see any requests to speak, so we'll move to the next item. Commission communications.
I'd like to mention a thing or two. One thing is a concert fundraiser for the Sacramento County Historical Society that I've put together that's going to be May 14th at the Fox and Goose Public House in downtown Sacramento at 10th and R Streets. The fundraiser, I'm excited about it. I got a local historian by title with the California State Department of Historic Preservation. He's an historian there, but he's also just known in the arts community as a local history buff guy. He's written some books. William Berg. I got him to MC the event and give historical lecture between bands, and there will be 5 bands to benefit the Sacramento County Historical Society.
Great, thank you so much. We have flyers here at the podium, or if anyone in the audience would like to pick up a flyer, Dean has those available. Any other commission communications? Item 2, introduction of new Director of Parks and Recreation Department. Ms. Tuttle, hi.
It's easier for me to stand up.
and I couldn't see you.
It's easier for at least the short one in the middle to see you when you stand there.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of
Thank you.
hard. It's like I was like bobbing and weaving and, hi, good evening. I am Cindy Tuttle. I'm the new Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of West Sacramento, and I couldn't be happier. You know, I went to a meeting actually today, and they say, what's the one life event that happened to you in the past year? And I said, was getting a job with the City of West Sacramento. I'm just really excited to be here, and I know some of you, for others, this is the first chance you've had to meet me. I've been in West Sacramento for over 35 years. In the early days of the city, I was on the council and served as a mayor here, and then I went into public administration for many, many years, and most recently with Yolo County. And when this opportunity came up to, again, come home to West Sacramento, I ran. I didn't walk, I ran, and I'm just really pleased to be here. We have done a little bit of restructuring in the department, not a lot, because if it's not broke, you don't need to fix it necessarily, and we have a great staff. And Connie Leak, who you're going to hear from in just a little bit, is now going to be staff to this commission. She'll be taking over Andre's functions, and we're very pleased that she stepped up to the plate to do that, and I think you'll find Connie to be very resourceful and very pleasant, and people love her, and she runs great programs, and she's a phenomenal manager, and she manages our community center and a lot of the programs there, as well as the art gallery, so welcome to Connie as well, and again, you'll hear from her in just a minute. I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk about something you may not be as familiar with on this commission, which is what will be Parks and Recreation's charge moving forward with the Council's 2016 action agenda related to their strategic planning. I was looking, our brand-new 2016 strategic plan. A poster is here, and I think we gave one to each of you. And there are actually 3 specific areas that the Parks and Recreation Department will be working on quite diligently over the next 12 months. The first is the open space cleanup and enforcement program. This is a joint project between Yolo County, the Police Department, and the Parks and Recreation Department to provide a service-first model to transient individuals living in the community. Again, Yolo County Homeless Coordinating Services, along with the Police Department, go out to sites, provide services to individuals, and then about 2 weeks later, the Parks and Recreation staff for parks-owned properties come in, lift the trees, clean the trash, and clean the site. We had our first site done, which was next to the Broderick Boat Ramp. It was very successful. They took over 1 ton of just trash from that one site. So we are going to council on April 6th to formalize this program and to begin doing this on a regular basis at priority points throughout the city. So we're excited about that. We are also going on the 6th with an RFQ that we put out for having contracting services so our Parks Department can do what they do, which is clean parks and not necessarily clean up homeless camps. So
Ms. Tuttle, those are on city-owned properties, yes?
that is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. We're attacking the public and open space parcels first. However, that does not mean that we will not cooperate and help private individuals who need our assistance either in serving notice or connecting them with services to get it done. But our focus is on those properties that are publicly owned. The second is the barn events and policy. Many of you may know that as part of the agreement with the barn, they are to provide 10 dates to the city for events. We currently do not have a policy relevant to whether we should, contract with the Mondavi to put musical acts in there or some other type of acts in there for 10 times a year, whether we should use them for city events, whether we should use it for the farmer's market, whether we should give it to nonprofits, have a raffle. We just don't know. And so staff is currently looking at a myriad of options, which we will then take to the council and ask them for their policy direction as far as booking those 10 days moving forward. So that we'll be working on quite feverishly in the next few months. And then the last item, and probably the most significant, is the Trails Initiative and the Parks Master Plan update. As you may know, our Parks Master Plan was last updated in 2003 with a minor update in '06, so it's really from '03. It does not currently incorporate any of the improvements that will be coming as part of two major flood projects in the southern portion of our city, which have really skewed that plan. In addition, as you all know, West Sacramento is in the secondary zone of the Delta, and there are a lot of opportunities that present themselves via funding opportunities and linkages with other Delta counties. So we are actually applying for funding to the Delta Conservancy to do a regional trails initiative, which will be a blueprint of intergenerational, multimodal trails to link West Sacramento from the Yolo bypass up to, or down to the Delta, up to the Fremont Weir. You go east over to the American River Parkway and up to the watershed, to the beginning of the watershed at Folsom Dam, as well as down to Davis over the Yolo Causeway. All of that goes through West Sacramento, yet there's no master plan of what that should look like and what those interconnections should be for either bike, ped, or other types, horse, whatever the case may be. So this would be a master plan and a cooperative between Yolo County, Sacramento City, and the city of West Sacramento to do just that, to master plan a regional trails initiative, linking, again, all these different wonderful sites to the Delta, and hopefully using Delta money to do that, which then gets our foot in the door to actually build those improvements around the Great Delta Trail and some other things like that. The advantage is that, as you know, West Sacramento owns the Clarksburg Branch Trail, not only within the city limits, but clear out to Clarksburg. The port owns 22 miles of the navigational levee, which, I could just visualize the Autobahn of cycling, but that'll be up to everybody else to decide what we do with that eventually. But so those are the two really big plans that I'll be working on in the next year. And of course, the staff will be continuing to provide award-winning programs and services and the myriad of other things that we provide. So with that, I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have of me. I've been on the ground now for 2 months and worn my heels out.
Any questions?
So just a quick question, Ms. Tuttle, on the barn. You said there's going to be 10 events that are going to be given to the city. So would you be getting input maybe from the commission on any potential arts or culture events?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be bringing the policy to both the arts and the parks, and we'll be bringing it to both for your input. Yes. So we'll put a package together, and then you'll say, oh, no, that's, you should add this or do that, and then all of that will go to the council, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Cindy?
Yeah.
Are there any dates on some of the first projects coming up related to, say, the bike trails you were talking about, or the intermodal trails? Any project dates?
No, because we don't have the money yet. So currently, the status of that is I have completed a scope of work. It's out for circulation to the other jurisdictions that are partnering on this grant application. Once that's completed, we'll submit the grant to the Delta Conservancy, and once it's funded, that's really when we'll be coming out to the public and brainstorming and figuring out. I mean, we already have an adopted bicycle and pedestrian master plan that's really good. We'll use that as a base. We already know we have the Clarksburg Branch Line Trail. So there's some pieces that are already in place that are just, go without saying. So it's all the interconnectivity and what's going to be used for what and where and what additional pieces do we need to make it a whole system.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that'll come after we get the money. I feel good that we're going to get the money.
Nice.
Yeah, it's unconventional funding, but that's kind of what I'm good at. I'm not very conventional.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, I know there's a lot of folks in the community that are just concerned about funding, so hearing about Parks and Rec and just budget issues, and I don't know if you wanted to care to comment on that.
Actually, I'm very pleased to report that we just had our budget. We meet quarterly with the finance department to oversee our budget, and it is no secret that we have struggled. We had some unforeseen expenses this year, particularly at the West Sacramento Recreation Center that were not anticipated, which just like our household budget, when the car breaks down, you don't plan on that, and it puts a squeeze on some other stuff, and we're no different here. But I'm really pleased to report that the staff really buckled down, and I think we're going to make it out okay this year. And we're in the, first year of a 2-year budget. There isn't a lot of extra money for next year. The asks are high, the money is little. So my hope is that they'll just be able to, we'll be requesting funding we had a very unexpected utility bill that we've never had before at the West Sac Rec Center. So we're just hoping that that'll be able to be covered next year, and that we will still be able to provide the same level of programs that we've been providing this fiscal year. So Wyatt Parks is always kind of at the end of the list, because it's, you're competing against fire and police, and that's understandable in our community. However, we are really beginning to look at non-traditional funding sources to get some of this very unique work done. I mean, there is no parks master planning money. There is no planning grants for that type of work. They're just not out there. So that's why we're looking at some of these kind of less conventional ways of piecemeal. We're basically piecemealing it. We're going to do the trails first. There is open space funding through habitat sources so that we're going to be looking at. So, we're just trying to find new and better ways to get this work all done. And you're right, parks it's difficult. But hey, we got a great team and a lot of will to do it. And what's the worst that they can say? No. And then
Well,
we
I would just
keep looking.
include, I think folks in general as well are concerned about art programs being cut and just some of the other recreation services that relate to that area too.
My understanding is we're not planning any cuts for the coming fiscal year.
Great, that's excellent.
That's my understanding at this point in time. Yeah.
And just a little insight, for the commissioners, you might recognize Ms. Tuttle on the wall.
Oh, you just had to say it, didn't you?
Yeah, Cindy was the second woman to be elected to city council in
Back in the
in West
day.
Sacramento. And so when she talks about deep roots, she's been here, she understands, she's worked it. She sat on both sides of,
Mm-hmm.
well, not this desk, but a desk, so, yeah. So thank you for.
Thank you.
And welcome back.
Thank you.
Also, have a question around you, and I have every faith that this trail system Delta project will come to fruition for funding. Is it possible, while we're thinking unique opportunities and out of the box, that because a part of that budget will come into the public art fund, because it's a public project, and so that part that the city has budgeted money, a portion of that will come into the public art farm?
The construction, not the
Yeah,
planning.
construction,
Yeah, the
not
construction,
planning. Construction. As you're designing this, as you're visualizing this, you see a bike autobahn up on the levee, and I see a cool place to stop and rest that might have some public art. So as you're looking at that, is it appropriate? Public art can be functional art, it can be a cool bench, it could be a piece, maybe that become part of the conversation and
I think it's all of that.
Yeah.
I think it's all of that, yeah. Because we actually talked about having, bird watching opportunities and blinds out there, where people could walk into a blind. And, yeah, so I think it's a combination of all of that, yes.
And might also be another resource for funding.
Absolutely.
So just
Yeah.
early on, that.
Nope, absolutely.
that would be
Totally agree.
awesome. And then I was wondering, then programming. As we look at, and I'm referring to the community center, as we're looking for opportunities to supplement a budget or maybe help boost a flagging budget in an underused facility, is it possible then that there might be a conversation around rental, and I know that the black box is rented out, that's awesome, but that maybe some of those amazing tricked out fully AV rooms might be available for rentals during the day when business does business.
They currently are. They currently are available for rental around programs, so.
Around programs. And so
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there could be, maybe since everybody's kind of sitting around the table brainstorming great ideas, is it possible that there might be an option, maybe some of that programming could get, if there were a big rental in the community room, maybe some of that programming could get moved into another. I'm just kind of,
We have done that on occasion, but I do need to bring up that as the community center came together, it was the multi-generational center.
Understand.
And yeah, it houses the senior center during the day. And there is a priority not to keep moving the seniors. And that came up a lot the first year that we were in there. And the seniors look forward to their programs and their classes. And you'll get to see some video later of some of the stuff that happens during the day. During the day, primarily downstairs, senior programs have priority, and upstairs, the Learning Ladder Preschool has priority. But as far as meetings, we will work with you, and there are days, Fridays tend to be better, where we can actually book a meeting in the community room.
yeah, I actually just meant in general. If an outside business came in, if somebody wanted to rent that space, I was just wondering if they're.
And we currently do.
With the facilities that are available both in the north part of town, here in the center of town, and down at the rec center, if there are empty spaces that, I don't know, maybe, I'd be curious, this is a whole Parks Commission conversation, not a Parks Commission conversation, but it just kind of came to mind that maybe in the high rent district, some of that property might be pretty valuable as a rental, just put it out there.
Certainly, yeah, and we do rentals and make some revenue around programs, and we can certainly look at that more
Yeah.
around programs, so, thank you.
Well, thank you again. I'm really looking forward to working with all of you. I think I left my card. Feel free to call me or email. I have an open door policy, and if I'm around, I'm more than happy to talk to you or leave a message, and I'll make sure and call you back. So thank you, and thank you for your service to the commission. I know I've sat in a seat where you're sitting, and I know it's a thankless job sometimes. So I really, as a resident of West Sacramento, I truly appreciate your service. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Item number 3, West Sacramento Art Guild Gallery Show in Gallery 1075. Angie.
I'm going to lower this down a little bit.
What was that?
So you can see me a little better. Good afternoon. My name is Angie. I am the arts lead over at the community center. I am in charge of the Gallery 1075. With me, I have the Westside Art Guild. This is Jojo and Jerry. You guys can come up here. Before we get into just a little bit of the Art Guild, they are currently holding an exhibit that is open until next week. So you guys are more than welcome to come on in and take a look at their art. I also have a few, I left a few business cards right there on your tables. The last time I was here, I didn't have them, and now I do. So now you guys have my contact. I left you a couple extras in case you know any artists that are interested or looking for a place to exhibit. We're more than welcome to have them over at the gallery. There's also a postcard that has the next 2 art shows that we'll be having on one side, and then on the other side it has what is going on at the Black Box. So you guys are more than welcome to come on in and enjoy the art show and Avenue Q, which is what is on that postcard right there. And so this is, again, this is Jojo and Jerry, and they are going to tell you a little bit more about the Art Guild.
All right.
Hello, I'm Jojo Gillies. I've been in West Sacramento for over 30 years, and I'm happily part of the West Sacramento Artists Guild. Are we going to have this video? Okay, anyway, we're showing, as Angie said, a 1-month showing of our work. We've got about 12 current members that are very consistent, and we've got a few others that show up from time to time. We show almost consistently every year at the Yolo County Fair, and happily we all seem to get awards of one sort or another. It's quite wonderful. And then we go to various fairs, around the county, Dixon and Woodland and so on. And here we have the show, part of the show that we have now over at the gallery. And this is Bona Geese. She does mostly pencil, but she has a couple of watercolours there. And then, can you move? Moving on, this is as it goes around the gallery. This is Linda Bowen. Now, Linda does amazing needlework takes her sometimes 2 years to do one little piece. How she does it, I don't know. It's almost a lot asked in my mind, but she painstakingly does it. Then we go on to Roger, who does sort of abstract oils, but very, very detailed, very consistent, and quite popular. The next one is Lonnie Phipps, sorry. He's a brand new artist, and I believe that these are digitally done, is how he explained it to me, but they're quite beautiful. And I have Michael, he's also new. The gentleman at the bottom is a self-portrait of Michael, and he does mainly oils. And the next artist is Lonnie Phipps. Oh, we're going backwards.
sorry.
And there, it's okay. But these are the pieces that are being shown now at the gallery. And then this is Patty. She's become our vice president. She's fairly new, but a very, very lovely artist. And then we have Jerry. Now, Jerry is very unique. He does these metal pieces from plough discs. He perhaps will explain a little bit more how he does it. And then I've painted the dragon. We do a little cooperative thing together, and then these are my paintings here. So I do 3 mediums, watercolor, acrylic, and oil. So perhaps you'd like to, Jerry could explain to you how he does his plough discs, because it's quite an intriguing art.
What
okay?
is that? Plow
This is
disc?
Jerry's work
Farmers
here.
plow discs, they're recycled plow discs. When the farmers get done with them, they either recycle them as metal, or I can get them fairly cheap or even free, and I turn them into art. It just happened to come out.
How do
that I
you do
started
that?
Well, first I draw a picture on it, how I want to make it, and usually it's, some of it's my own pictures, some of them I get ideas from other pictures, and then I draw it out, and then I cut it out, and then I do some welding on it, and then I do some coloring on it, and JoJo has done some of the painting on some of mine, and like the dragon up there, and I did sell the tree at this show.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and so it was good, and but it's just started up as a hobby. I'm a welder and fabricator by trade, and it just happened to have, I just found a plow disc one day, and I just made a big sun out of it, and then it just developed from there. But anyway, I would like to say something about the Art Guild. Each artist has a story behind their art. You got to get to know the artist and the art. It's just like I don't know if you're a car enthusiast. If you go to a car show, every car's got a story.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here. Every artist has a story behind their art. JoJo, she's never had a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
She's self-taught, and she does amazing painting, amazing detail. So, Roger, he's a historian, and he knows how to paint these abstract pieces, and he's just a bundle of information about California.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's just all kinds of stories that you can learn from the artist, and we'd like to have as many artists as we can. We've been kind of small for a long time, but we're starting to get a little bit bigger, and we appreciate this opportunity to show in the what's it called? Art gallery. Yes. And she has made my work so much it's never looked so better, so much good. You know, she did a wonderful job.
The whole gallery, she's done a wonderful
Yes,
job
very, very good.
of arranging it all and setting it all up. Just wonderful.
So.
Wonderful. And we're always welcoming new artists.
Yes.
If you know anyone, we've got
So
some that
when do
come
you
from-
meet?
We have our meetings once a month, the last Thursday of the month, over at the library. And it's only $20 a month, a
A year.
year, sorry, the annual membership, so it's very reasonable to join. And it's a lovely way to get your
And
art
what time
out.
do you meet on that last Thursday?
6:30 every Thursday, and they're welcome to, anyone interested can come and listen in and join our meeting without any obligation to join, just come and see what we're all about.
And is that
Okay.
posted in the in Gallery 1075, how you join the Art Guild? And
It is not, but I will.
yeah, that seems like that would be, it's delightful to see you both. I met JoJo years ago when we had the Neighbors Fair, and the Crocker Art Gallery would come, and
Yes, remembering that. I
Yeah.
had just begun, that was I just
You had.
mentioned that to Angie.
Yeah.
I just picked up a brush and I got second place in
You
People's
did.
Choice.
you did.
I can't believe you remember that.
Of course. Okay, so your accent was a little bit of help, let me just say. But yes, and honestly, after Ann Bissett Clark, I kind of had lost contact. So it's really delightful to me that Roger is still painting and doing his
He
thing.
is.
He was very well respected by the curator from the Crocker. And so
Yes.
it's just a great example of a lot of talent that hides in houses here in West Sac.
It
And
is true.
I am really thrilled that you guys are, and Linda's needlework.
Oh, Linda's
She actually,
amazing.
she sold the piece as well.
Yes, she told the
She sold
eagle.
the.
So, I mean, on the screen, that looked like it was a painting.
Even,
if you-
even when you look at it, I was there today showing some friends, the needlework is so fine.
So this is needlework.
It's almost
just-
impossible to tell
that's
it's
just
not
mind-boggling.
painting.
And the eagle one that's at the lower.
Yes.
Right, yeah, it was sold probably about a week after it was put up.
Right.
So then is there opportunity through Parks website or, this is a community organization, much like the Historical Society, that any efforts that we can help promote what they're doing to get the word out? I'm wondering if,
Definitely something we can do.
I wish you could, because truthfully, we quietly do our little thing, but we're so little known, not recognized by the public, because people are not aware of our existence. We go to our little meetings.
those days are over.
This is the year.
Yeah, and, it seems like there could be a link, partners or other resources on, and the, Paul Hosley, that through Facebook.
Yeah, social media,
On
get him
social
promoting
media,
them,
that
yeah.
they could
We'll
talk.
have to tie that in together.
Just
So-
right before their next meeting, maybe, to
Yeah.
let
Which is,
folks
our
know.
next meeting is this Thursday night at 6:30 at the library.
Okay, well, that might be a quick turnaround,
Right,
but before your
right.
next meeting,
But yeah, Angie, we'll have you start talking with them about how we can promote them, both on our website and with links, and also through Paul Hosley doing social media promotion, and get the word out and let more people
Yes,
know as you're
it's-
growing.
It would be wonderful, because it's a shame that over there, it's closed at the weekend. The public are really not aware that we have a show there. And it's really, the way Angie's presented it all, it's really a very attractive little show.
Well,
Not just because we're in it, it's just lovely thing to go.
it's a lovely gallery,
And
and your
now
group
that-
is exactly
Right.
what that space was intended
Right,
to
but now
help
that the little
promote.
cafe is, now that the little cafe is closed, city building here doesn't pop over for lunch, so it isn't generating the type of person, if I may be so bold as to say, that might have the money in their pocket to buy a painting.
I
know.
understand exactly what you're saying.
Thank you.
And know a photographer that you'll probably be hearing from soon. And thank you for your diligence and your persistence with this, because your organization is an organization of passion. It's
It's
people that
true.
are passionate about what they do,
It's
and they
true.
like the people that they do it with. And while you've been kind of running under the radar for about the last 10 years,
Oh,
maybe.
yes, we just
That-
we meet, we have our little meetings, we go home, we drag our stuff around, and it is passion and love for it. You've got to keep going. My house is rather awful because of all these paintings, but what do you do with them?
I feel
No
your pain
exposure.
with that. Yeah. So thank you both so much.
Jojo
And-
also has a show of her own coming up in July, I believe.
One-man
that
show.
she'll be
except that
having.
Jerry will be showing anything we've painted, our collaboration
Where will that
together.
be?
That'll be in the gallery,
Over the
Gallery
gallery.
1075.
Great,
Mhm.
so we'll
So I
have,
will.
Right.
and when is it?
I know.
It's
so-
in July.
yeah, in
July of this year.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I would like to say that when Jerry and I are together, we have to, got to blow our own horn. We got first prize for first place at the Yolo County Fair for the dragon and some hibiscus that I also painted, plus on both best of show.
Congratulations.
Good job.
So we should be bragging about that. That's a big brag
Well,
that
the
should
world
be
doesn't
coming
know
from
about these
this.
things, so here we are. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Well, our calendar is on the city's website, and it would be delightful, that first section, items not on the agenda, just pop by once a quarter and tell us in 3 minutes or less what you're doing, where you're showing, what's happening. Keep us in the loop.
Well,
That's why we're here.
one-man show, July.
July, we'll be
My
there.
very first of my whole life.
Congratulations.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Angie. Thanks for your good work in that gallery. Item number 4, Community Center 5-year birthday video. Woo-hoo. Can you believe it's been 5 years?
No, it has flown by. It really has. Good evening, and Commissioners, very nice to meet you. My name is Connie Leek, and I am a Recreation Manager with Parks and Recreation. To tell you a little bit about myself, I have been with the department for quite some time, a little over 20 years. I've had 5 positions. It's fun for me as my staff come up and speak, because at some point during time I've done that position or had my hands in youth and teens or special events or the various things. So I do live here in town. I've been a resident for a very long time. Tells your age when you say, you know. I moved here as a teenager, and I consider myself, I'm a Woodland girl, but I consider myself West Sacramento, and I married into a West Sacramento family, and my father-in-law was a district psychologist for the school district for 25 years. My mother-in-law is a teacher here, you know, so I am West Sacramento. I raised my children here. They went to school here. I live, play, work, breathe, love West Sacramento, this great community. I have the pleasure of running half the recreation department, so it's almost easier to say what I don't do. I'll be honest, I'm not sporty. So I'm not. I'm very girly. I don't oversee the rec center. I don't oversee athletics, aquatics. Those things are not in my area. The other side is what I get. So I have the wonderful pleasure of overseeing youth and teens, adaptive leisure, or adaptive recreation, special events, seniors, the community center, summer park programs, summer food programs. All of that kind of falls in my area. So now they've told you a little bit about myself. What I really want to show you is the community center 5-year birthday video. We just had our 5-year celebration, and like Denise says, it's flown by. It's crazy. So with that, I'd love to show you what happens at the community center. A little snippet of 5 years.
Okay. Bingo.
Hi, I'm Connie Leek, Recreation Manager. On behalf of the City of West Sacramento Department of Parks and Recreation and the Community Center team, I'd like to thank you for being a part of the Community Center these first 5 years. And we look forward to all the great years ahead. Thank you.
Most important thing is all the wonderful people we met here through the classes. Just, it's just great. This line dance class is so diverse, and they're all so funny, and we range from, we're all seniors, of course, but we range from, I'd say probably 55 to, one of the gals in the class is 98, which someone else might have said. But that's the most important thing, I think, that you meet such fantastic people, so friendly. And the staff, I mean, they're really friendly.
I love the music. And of course, I like the steps, and I enjoy the whole class. And all the ladies here will be friends for years. So it's a good social meeting, you know, and that's what they recommend seniors need to be socially active. And oh, definitely, I enjoy that. The Tai Chi class is a lot slower than this, but according to our instructor, it gives us strength to keep us from falling, gives us good, a lot of energy. And so it's a totally different exercise, but no question about it, it's good for us.
Okay, first I started off taking the knitting class, and I've always wanted to knit, and I did a little crocheting, but then I found that the loom knitting is so much easier. And I've made a couple hats that we donate at Christmas time for the homeless and for people that has radiation treatments. And then I started the card class, and I really enjoy the card class. And this has benefited me because I retired 3 years ago from the University of California, Davis. And this gives me something to look forward to at least twice a week. And the rest of the time I do go and use the rec center here in West Sacramento, which is an excellent program.
Well, West Sacramento has had a historical society for many years, committed and dedicated to the preservation of the very vibrant and colorful history of West Sacramento, and then educating particularly the new residents to town who very often aren't even from the area, educating them to the history of West Sacramento. Here, thanks to the city and their cooperation, Tom Lewis is actually one of our board members. He's the past president. He's responsible for the gallery around us here, and he's built everything. He's put everything together. We change out the exhibits every 3 or 4 months. Currently, the exhibit in here now that we change is to the West Sacramento Trail Riders Association and the impact of equestrians on the history of West Sacramento. And then next week, he's going to start building one on the farmers' rice and the contribution that the rice growers have made to the community. We've had exhibits on the river cats and the history here in West Sac. So it's here in the community center. As the president of the society, we have a board of directors. It's a 501c3. Our board of directors is elected by our membership. So we have monthly meetings, a newsletter, fundraisers. You could tell we try to have exhibits, particularly here in the community center and the Black Box Theater, things that promote the history of the community and expand the community's knowledge and understanding of the history. Every day that goes by, we lose a little more history, and our job is to try to not lose it and keep it together for everybody.
This is my favorite place that I've worked so far with children. And I think it is because of it being a community center, that it is here for everybody. And the support is everywhere, whether it's the parents or administration, the teachers. We're like a family ourselves. They really like playing outside, and they really like the interesting books that I seem to bring in from the library. I can bring them in on lizards, planets, dinosaurs, and we'll have a whole table full of books. I love working here. I love the support of the city as well for working at the community center and the preschool. It's unlike any place I've ever worked.
Most important in Oregon, and the Zumba class makes it stronger, and it also, the people that are here make it stronger.
What I enjoy are the people, the socialization with everyone. We have friends from India, Japan, Guatemala. But most of all, I think the socialization with other people.
I am the oldest here, so, you know, I'm 81 and a cancer survivor.
Hey.
And I've been coming from the beginning. I love it here, met a lot of my friends. It's a cardio. And I'm actually have got a back and a back leg, and there's no excuses not to come here. Right, there's no excuses. Exercise in a fun style.
I've only been doing Zumba for about 4 months.
But he's excellent. Excellent, yes. We love him. Yes, and he
They threaten me.
That's a real man.
They threaten me.
Yes.
They know where I live.
And we make him wear the skirts. He loves it. Yeah.
We all enjoy it, and we're better for being here, so I think that's great.
Yeah.
Thanks for a great 5 years of community at the West Sacramento Community Center.
Some of the stuff that happens in there, it's really hard to, there's so much that's went on. And Denise, like you, had to do the mention of Cindy serving on council on the wall. Of course, we had to put a picture of Cindy in there singing at a charity concert in our Black Box Theater, Belting the Blues for charity. So another cool thing about our new director. So anyway, our 5-year celebration was great. One of the cute things that happened, the Learning Ladder preschool children, all those great kids, they came out during the birthday party and did their own rendition. The song, they came out to Happy, clapping, and they had their sunglasses and their blow-up guitars. And they made their way to the stage in the community room, and then they rocked out to You Say It's Your Birthday by the Beatles. And then they serenaded us to Happy Birthday while Mooey, our department mascot, brought cupcakes out for all. So it was just a great community celebration, and our seniors were there, and our families, and our Learning Ladder children, and it was a fun time. So you do have a souvenir coffee cup that I've given you. So as you drink your tea or coffee, and always have warm thoughts or think of the community center and all the great stuff that has happened there and will be happening there. So with that, if there's any questions, I'll answer them, and otherwise we'll move on and talk about some of the other great stuff that's happening at the community center and in town. So,
Questions, commissioners? I have one question related to, just since you'll be staffing this commission.
yes.
Before the community center was built, there's an art plan. There's a public art plan for the community center. Scott Stanley took the lead on it. It's a full document. It's somewhere, and it might be great to have it because there's like a phase 2 and then a phase 3. There are suggested additional spots for public art in that building, other than the beautiful piece that it has in the stairwell. And so it's around somewhere, and it might be awesome, just as you know, the bucks start rolling in, the public art fund, to have that, to be able to consider it for additional pieces of public art.
Yeah, we certainly can revisit that, and hopefully funds do roll in, because at this point, I think our public art fund is not real big right now. So just as each project comes in.
We just funded the Joey Lopes.
Exactly. So got some great stuff we got out of that. That piece is phenomenal. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job.
And thank you, Denise. And you're part of the stuff that we do in the community center, too. You know you are. Your breakfast with Santa and the various businesses and the support in town and the chamber. And so you're a part of that as well.
It's a beautiful facility, and it really, anyone that might be watching this video, if you haven't been by, wander through, because it's just a great facility. We are so lucky. It was really a great vision that planted that building there, so.
Certainly was. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it open on the weekends?
Not public hours, as far as we don't staff and have sort of open. We're a Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., Monday through Thursday. Fridays we close at 5. Childcare does operate until 6, Monday through Friday. The weekends is for rentals, events we have, theater shows we have. So for example, you have Avenue Q, that show is coming, that's a rental. You probably saw some of those pictures. Anniversary rentals, businesses, wedding receptions, fashion shows, concerts. Those are the things that happen on the weekend. We may also throw a Zumba event or a children's program or a teen dance.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 5, after-school education and safety program, art show review. Katie Hauser.
Well, good evening, Commissioners. My name is Katie Hauser, and I'm the Recreation Supervisor for Youth and Teen Services, and I also oversee the Bridgeway Lakes Boathouse. So I'm here tonight to review our ACES Art Show that was actually up in Gallery 1075 last month in February. And I think we have some photos that we'll kind of just flash through as we talk a little bit. So the ACES program is a grant-funded program through the state of California that we run in partnership with Washington Unified. So we have 5 sites across the city at Stonegate, Westmore, Westfield, Elkhorn, and Riverbank. And there are almost 600 children in this program throughout the sites. So every year we do an art show, and this is the 5th one that we just did in February. And so the theme this year was based on the Disney Pixar movie Inside Out. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this movie, but it's very cute. And it just discusses personalities, memories, emotions, how those things are developed, of course, in a funny and cute little way. And these personality islands. So we had the children create art pieces based on this theme. Their personality islands, their families, their core memories, how they kind of think that those things are coming through with them. And so we have them, each program leader works with their group of kids to develop these art pieces. It's like a 2 to 3 week process that they work through with this theme. And then we collect all of the art. and we judge it as staff. So we all lay all of the pieces out, and there are different categories, and we pick, 4 to 5 winners per category based on grade level. And then we mount the art and we put it up in the gallery. And we also have a little art reception. So we had that February 8th of this year. And we invite all the families and the winners, and we give each of the kids who win like a bag of age-appropriate art material so that they can go home and continue working on their art. And it's just, we provide snacks. It's a really fun and cute event where they get to take pictures of their mounted art with their families. So it's very, very cute. And we are doing that again next school year. It'll be in November this next school year. So in the fall, I'll be inviting you guys to be judges of the art if you would like to. We meet at the boathouse and we spread all the art out. It's a really fun and cute time to do that. So that's basically what we have going on with the art show. And then just another piece I wanted to mention about the ACES program. We have a very unique and blessed opportunity with the grant to bring in enrichment providers to the children. So the school district puts out an RFP for enrichment providers, and so we are currently running Firefly Art at all of the sites as well right now. So the teachers come in and they do 5-week sessions with all of the grade levels and go through just techniques, all these different kinds of things, and the kids really love it. So that's an extra service that we're able to provide through the grant. Do you guys have any questions about the show or Firefly Art?
So how many kids pieces hung in the show?
So I think this year there were 26,
Wow,
I
that's
believe.
great.
Does that sound about right? Yeah. And then we also had a staff category as well, which is fun for them to participate in, so.
That's great.
I'm sorry, what, honey? Oh, so yeah, so this is one of our staff pieces here from our site leader at Stonegate. So again, you can kind of see, this is our site leader, Kyle, his piece. And so you can see his emotions up here, his anger, and it's anger and sadness, joy and disgust, I believe. So yeah, we find out through these programs that we actually have some incredibly talented artists on our staff. And especially as you get into the older grade levels with our Club West program, which is our 6th through 8th grade program, you see some incredible things, definitely some incredible projects. So, and these are our 4th and 5th grade winners here.
And so the enrichment funds are directed by Washington Unified or through?
In partnership with us.
In partnership.
So basically what we do is there's a specific amount in the grant labeled for enrichment. And then they put out an RFP to businesses who want to provide that. So I think this year we have Firefly Art, ATA Karate, and Coast to Coast Soccer. So those are the 3 that were submitted to the district this year. And then they bring the proposals to the staff, to me and the coordinator, Jen, and we go through, okay, what can we, facility-wise at the sites, what can we actually do? How much time do we have? How much does this cost? How many kids can we serve?
The Crockers Art Arc, is that something that would be funded through those? Is that the type of a program that might be funded
Yes.
through this?
Mhm.
And has the Crockers Art Arc?
We haven't actually partnered with them. That last year, actually, the Crocker Art donated passes to us for prizes. So last year in the gift bags that the winners got, they got passes to the Crocker Art Museum. But in terms of the enrichment providers, we haven't actually partnered with them.
They do have quite a program, and they.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Essentially what we do is we try to let the public know. It's a little bit tricky because the RFP is handled through the district and not actually through the city. So we just have to let people know word of mouth. Hey, this RFP is out. Please go and apply for it. So we're always looking for different kinds of proposals for enrichment. So
Great. Questions for Katie?
Katie, how long has the program been going on for?
I think we received ACES funding in 2007, I believe.
Okay.
So it's been going on for a while. Mm-hmm.
And there was actually an earlier version just run by the city as far as the
Yes.
after-school program.
Right.
Yeah, After School Adventure, I think is what we called it, the after-school program there. And then it transitioned into the ACES program when I think it was Prop 49 came and we got the funding.
Katie, are you familiar with 916 Inc., the nonprofit that goes to, they have a facility now in South Sacramento, but they try to get kids from a neighborhood or anybody can join the program, and they get kids, usually at the schools where they're at, they'll go to the school, get kids to write short stories, and then put them into a book, a published format, and they've made a comic book, and they make short story books, and kids
Oh,
really
interesting.
feel satisfied by having something published.
That's very cool.
What they do. Yeah, I wonder.
916 Inc.?
916 Inc.,
Okay.
yeah, INK.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
very
very
cool.
familiar with that program. Katie McCleary is the executive director. It's a phenomenal award-winning program, and I'd be happy to hook you up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you know
she's
if it's
great.
just school year programs? Or is it something that they could do for summer?
I think they do it year-round.
I think they
yeah.
do it year-round.
They're growing, and yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, really
Okay.
growing. That's a fabulous idea. I never thought about getting 916
Yeah, that'd
Inc.
be
over
great
here.
to work-
Excellent
work
idea.
And we're in the middle right now of summer programming. We're kind of wrapping up school year programming, as crazy as that sounds to say. We are, but we're right in the middle of summer programming as well.
Yeah.
So I'll chat with Cindy about that, and we can kind of talk about that.
And even if 916 Inc. can't do it, they may let you replicate their successful program and steal some of their
Yeah,
ideas.
I love that idea.
Yeah, they're really good.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Katie. Item number 6, Theater, Arts, and Special Events update. Sam?
Well, good evening, Commissioners. My name is Sam Brinkheis. I am the new Theater, Arts, and Special Events Supervisor at the Community Center. And just a little bit about myself. I'm a lifelong West Sac resident. Grew up here in the area, attended all the public schools, and have been with the Department of Parks and Rec on and off since high school, and mostly working in aquatics, lifeguarding, swimming pool manager, and then aquatic coordinator at the Recreation Center before transitioning over to the Community Center. So new to the position, loving it so far, learning a lot every day. And just wanted to update you briefly on what we have going on at the Black Box Theater, some of our special events classes, and the special events throughout the city. We have some slides here that I just wanted to... And I had to borrow this. This is... I had to borrow this picture here from the video, but as we know, this is our new director, Cindy Tuttle, at a performance here at the Black Box. So just wanted to throw that up there. Let me get to the first slide here. Okay, so basically what I wanted to do was just update you on some of the past shows from the past few months. Here we have Cinderella, a British panto. And for those of you who are not familiar with a panto, it's short for pantomime, and it has its roots in Britain. And JoJo may or may not know about the pantos. Oh, okay. Well, I picked up on an accent, so I wasn't quite sure. Okay, awesome. But just think kind of Monty Python, a lot of slapstick humor. There's some men in drag, and it's very interactive. This was actually my first viewing at the Black Box. Again, new to the theater, and it was amazing. Very interactive with the audience. We got to throw things at the cast members, and we got to sing along. It was a musical. It was great. And then the other one, Generation Me, which was the week before last, was just a quick 2-day showing. That's through the local Flying Monkey Productions. And that addresses topics of teenage suicide, loss, confusion, and when I was in the audience, it really brought back a lot of memories of my own high school experience. The he said, she said drama, the partying, just everything that goes along with high school, that kind of embodies that. It's a musical. They're actually headed down to Hollywood for a 6-week showing at the Hudson Theater on Santa Monica Boulevard. So this was just kind of in preparation for their trip down there this fall. Again, if that hopefully it will come back. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to bring friends and family to see it, but again, it was only here for just a quick 2 days. And that was the week before last. Some of the upcoming shows that we all have a an opportunity to see Course Avenue Q. Some of you are familiar with that play. Puppets, there's a lot of adult content involved. Again, topics of dating, sex, drug use.
That might be an understatement, Sam.
Yeah. So for those.
This is not the Muppets.
No, this is not the Muppets.
Yeah.
So that's the Avenue Q. We have a charity event coming, Joy and Madness. This is a blues and funk band. They've toured with Tower of Power and one of the local musicians, a 9-piece band, and they'll be here June 11th, and that'll be a charity event for the right here local West Sac River City High School band. So we're all excited about that. And again, we have a little bit further on in the summer, July and August, Heathers the Musical, which is another Flying Monkey production play. So exciting stuff in the next few months. Some of the special events here in town, we have the Indie Arcade Gaming Expo, which is local gamers, card game enthusiasts, programmers. It's a workshop, and they'll have guest speakers. They'll talk and chat and coordinate and network with one another, and that'll be here at the community center April 9th. And then we all know the Intergalactic Expo, hugely successful and popular event here at the community center and civic center. I think this is our third year, and it's bigger, better than ever. We have a lot of guest speakers and presenters and vendors lined up for that. So if you can make it out May 22nd, please do. That's a community favorite for sure. And then just real quick on some of our local special interest classes. We have Urban Jazz Dance. We'll actually be performing at a Kings game this Friday, halftime show. And some of the local staff, myself included, Angie, and Connie, of course, we're going to go root them on, cheer them on, support our local dancers. And then, of course,
So will you be dancing?
What's that?
Dancing?
Oh, yeah, I'll get on there. I got to practice my moves in the Zumba class first, though, and then I'll be down there. But so we're really excited for them. And then, of course, we have karate. And longtime Cheryl and Charles Saxton instructors here in the community for many, many years. That's definitely a community favorite. So those are some of our special interest classes. This summer, we have a brand new Young Rembrandts, which is a preschool and elementary drawing workshop that we'll be offering this summer. So we're really excited about that. And of course, we have our Young Actors Workshop, teaching basic acting skills, building confidence and communication, and that'll be this summer as well. So these are just some of the special interest classes that we have going on currently, and we're looking to grow. We're looking to add some musicians, maybe some guitar classes in the future. So that's what we have going on, and I'll be happy to take any questions you might have.
A lot of stuff going on, that's great.
Yeah, that's great. I have one suggestion. There's a local nonprofit just started called Musiclandria, and it's a couple, and they're running it out of their house currently, and they rent out musical instruments at like a library would.
Very cool.
Very cool, and they very much want to have community events to benefit, poor communities or really anybody. And they have a vast network of friends that are musicians, and they're already thinking of trying to have guitar workshops for underprivileged kids and stuff.
And that's the Musiclandria?
Musiclandria.
Okay.
Yeah, so their website is musiclandria.com. Think about maybe connecting with them for guitar class stuff.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that information. I can send you that. There was just an article in the.
Yeah, in the News and Review.
They just had an article in the News and Review, and I have it. I'll send it to you. That's another great idea. That's a really cool local thing that's going on. Yeah.
They're great. Yeah.
Thanks, Cindy.
Remind me. Because I'll forget.
I will do that. Awesome. Any other questions?
So I'm wondering, since Daniel has all of our email addresses, would it be possible for you to send us, and sitting at this table is probably a pretty big social media network.
Yeah.
When you produce like this, could you send this to us in a PDF or a JPEG that we could share through our social media?
Sure.
And the gaming thing that's coming up
Yeah,
on
the Indie
9th?
Arcade Expo.
Yeah, could you send that to us?
Yeah, definitely.
And then we'll share it. I mean, that's part of
Yeah,
what we
post it
can
on
do is use
Facebook,
our
social media.
Yeah, but if we have a little bit of, it's handy.
Yeah, imagery is nice if you can just have an image that you can share.
Yeah, it's really helpful to have the calendar, and we really appreciate that. But if you'll send us the graphic, Daniel, if you'll send us the graphic, then we can help push it out. And that will even, so Runaway Stage rents the black box, and it's not really the city's responsibility to help promote their events. Having said all that, it's our responsibility to help promote all their events.
Definitely.
So if you'll send it to us.
Yeah, it's our theater. We want it,
We want
packed
people
up.
in it. We
Exactly.
want people in it. Yeah.
Exactly.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook events is a good idea. Hate to admit it, but Facebook is a huge tool.
Oh, yeah, and these, the Indie Arcade Expo and the Intergalactic Expo, they have their own fan pages. You can like the page, they'll give you updates.
So send us that.
Okay.
Let us be part of your media contact list.
Okay,
So we can send it out through the sources that we have available to us.
awesome.
Yeah, that would be great.
Will do, and I'll get that from Dan.
I mean, the intergalactic
Expo.
space people thing.
Yeah, the Comic-Con-like event. Yeah.
They are serious.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Stormtroopers,
Yeah,
Darth
I mean, there were
Vaders, Trekkies.
some of our regular street people that were like, whoa, just gonna stay inside today. So that's a good thing, you know? Whoa, this stuff, no, kidding. Yeah, any other suggestion or?
I
Good job.
wanted to ask Sam, the Arcade
Sure.
Expo, what will that involve? People show up and,
Yeah, there'll be workshops. If you're interested in programming your own games, there'll be guest speakers, there'll be demonstrations. If you're into the card, like Magic the Gathering, there'll be booth setup, vendors selling different presentations. It should be a great event. This is our first year doing it. We just met with the coordinator last week, and we're really excited. I'll be there. A lot of the staff will be there, and you're more than welcome to come check it out.
That would be an excellent thing for us to get out in social media. Like, the sooner the better. We can.
will there be video games there to play, actually?
Most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Thanks, commissioners.
Thank you. So, Sam, you said you're doing special events. If someone wants to if someone wants to, are you the new contact for special event scheduling at the community center?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I'm the new Scott Stanley.
Or Lucy?
Well, Lucy's my coordinator. We're a team.
Okay.
You can contact Lucy. I'll get the message. We work together on most of these events.
Great,
So.
great, thanks.
Yep. Lucy does coordinate a lot of those events, the calendar, the rental, the security guards. What's going on with this mic? But again, they're a team, Sam and Lucy, so.
Okay, great, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, your new position. You get to dry out, that's kind of a nice thing, right? Consent agenda, item number 7, approval of the minutes of the January 4th special meeting. Assuming everyone has had a chance to review those minutes, is there a motion to approve from someone who attended the meeting?
Yes, I motion that we approve the minutes.
And
I'll second. Oh, go ahead.
We'll both second. I'll second the motion.
Great. Is there any discussion or question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition or abstention? Done. Great. And commission, and then general admission function, commission calendar, future item requests. I noticed that there is an attachment for the calendar, and I might point out to you that on the mayor's State of the City address is May the 12th at 6 o'clock. It's never boring, and you might want to be there to find out. what direction, the mayor's vision for the direction for the city. So, anything else on the calendar?
Is that the mayor's State of the City address, is that free, and it's at the community center?
It's here in the Galleria,
Okay.
and it is not. It's a dinner.
Oh, you have to buy
Yeah.
a ticket?
There are tickets available,
Oh, cool.
which is a little bit of a cross-plug, but also sometimes commissioners are included. I don't know what the department's doing with that this year, but it's out there.
Yeah, that's out of the city manager's office. And I've not been told if there are tickets available for commissioners, but we can sure follow up on that.
Sure, thank you. And you have an event coming up in June that's not on this calendar. Is it Relay?
Oh, yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Just a reminder that Relay for Life of West Sacramento is going to be June 4th through 5th. It's at a new location this year. It's at Westmore Oaks Elementary. It's consistently been held at Our Lady of Grace and also River City, but we've expanded to a new location by working with the school district, so we're really excited about that partnership. Things to expect: Zumba. We are actually working on an event that will tie into the relay, more of a 5K with a gym locally. So I bet just best to say to look on Facebook, and there'll be a lot more information. But again, June 4th through 5th.
Is there opportunity for bands or any?
Yeah, so there'll be a whole entertainment schedule. The event itself is about 75 days away, and so I know that they're looking for any entertainment. So if you're interested, if you go on the website, they'll have a contact for anyone who may or may not want to participate in the event. And that's anything, music, activities. We had a Cub Scout group, we had a karate group come out, and it's all community-based, so any and everything out there.
Okay. Future item requests.
So I had just one request, if we can get an update on the next meeting on the Bridge District Public Art project that I don't want to say approved, but we recommended about.
Katie J. is working with, Katie Jacobson in planning is working with the Sacramento Metropolitan Art Commission on a big commissioned piece that's supposed to go on our river walk. We had folks, there's also a program around wayfinding signage that was mentioned, but haven't heard anything back on that. So an update would be, we had a couple members that sat on the selection committee.
Okay.
And it'd be good to know where they are with it.
We'll get Katie here and get an update on that. Thank you. Thank you for that one.
Any other requests for future agenda items that might have come out in an email?
Oh, yes.
There you
I would
go.
very much like to know if anybody knows, like on the commission, but the city, I suppose, could answer, has there been designated any historical districts in West Sacramento, and are they in the plans, or?
I have that answer for you.
Sweet.
Yay! So it is on. I speak so loud, I probably don't need it, but in the Washington specific plan, which is the plan that includes the Ziggurat building and around the Riverwalk, that is a historical district. There is a historical district designation within that plan. In addition, there are historic properties that are in the general plan background report. So those are two areas to start. I'm not sure exactly what you were looking for, but like if we had designated historic sites, we definitely do. Or if we were looking at a historic district, but we can get you a copy of the Washington specific plan.
Would it
and
be
you can
possible
look
to
at
have a
that.
presentation?
I'm sorry?
Would it be possible to have a presentation on that?
Sure, we can talk to the Community Development Department that's in charge of that and see if maybe perhaps David Tilley can come and talk about that.
I'd like to know lots of nuanced things about that situation, whether or not, what are the pros and cons of the city actually designating some spots historical and historical buildings. I know that it could become a barrier to possible future urban infill development, which I think is very important for this city to grow. And I wonder if that could be answered. What are the pros and cons of that?
I think that the purview of this commission relates to historic preservation.
Yeah.
And a presentation to help us see where those areas are. In the past, we've talked about working with the Historical Society, and I think there was the beginning of a map, a walking map of the Washington District. We talked about maybe helping to promote that, but in a volunteer organization, that can sometimes get set aside. But your point is really well taken, that it's arts, culture, and then a big old historic preservation. And it's easy to get caught up in the bright and shiny, but we do have a call to help preserve some of what may be the history of the community. So
Certainly. I'd love, in the course of any presentation to the commission, as many things as possible being explained, pros and cons.
And Cindy, do you know, are those designated by the state of California?
I don't know the answer to that. Well, the Washington Specific Plan would have been, that would have been a city action, but I don't know if there is actual historical preservation sites within that district that are, on the National Registry or some other type of registry. But that is
So that
probably
may-
definitely something that I think the Community Development Department, and specifically one of their senior planners, could answer for us, both in the context of what's expected in the general plan, which speaks to your point about infill, and they could also probably tell you how, in the Washington Specific Plan, if that's been a detriment or not to development there. Obviously, things have been built, so my guess is not, but I think the point's well taken. How do they get around that? How do they do that? How do they balance both? I think we can definitely bring them in to talk to you about that.
It would be good to know what those sites are and how.
Yeah.
If that's just an intention or if it is a policy.
Yeah, and whether we even track those, is that something that we track? Is that at the national level? Do we even know?
Yeah.
I don't have any of those answers. I don't know.
I was told by a friend recently that the process to get a historical district designated on the federal registry is a bit easier than the state historic preservation department, than the process going through them. And I'd also like to know that, if
Okay.
anybody's done that research. And thank you for the education.
Okay.
Any other future item requests? Is there a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.